Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently Thursday, the 24th of March. The time is 7:13 a.m. UK time. And as you can see, guys, we're going to cover quite a bit today. There has been a few trades I've been in, and thank you to people that have been commenting on the videos and recaps and asking questions about possible trades and trades I've entered. So we are going to cover that. I know someone did ask about this Aussie US dollar trade that I entered here, and they did mention about a one candle retrace. Now, for me, I think the individual means this, like placing an order after the first candle has retraced, or the first retrace candle, because of course, you know, if we actually did break this high with a wick and then retraced, I wouldn't have been that interested unless we got a little bit of a range. But again, I'm assuming you mean why would I have entered if we just had a one candle retrace like this? So one of the things you've got to understand is that what is price action telling us? We've been a bit range bound. I said that we've got liquidity here. We pushed up, more liquidity down. Actually, we didn't. That was enough liquidity grab. Yeah, that was it. So we had liquidity here, and then we actually fueled the move up. We didn't even need to come down to grab any other lower level liquidity because you saw we started to trend up like this, okay? So again, we were heavy on the upside. We broke through higher possible levels of liquidity here. Didn't show any shift. But the main thing here is that we look how we actually closed the move. So we broke the high with momentum, with a wick, and the next candle was a very nice close. So this is the reason why I was happy to take it. We're not seeing any weakness and any shift in the next candle, okay? So for example, if this candle did leave a wick, okay, then of course I'd have been a little bit more cautious to enter this position after this one candle retrace, okay, over here. But if you do back test this and you see very nice closes, again, it's very highly likely we're going to go and continue in that direction. So for me, again, I was happy with the way we closed and the no shift in momentum retrace, allowing me to place my order here and of course bank some percentage. So I hope that does answer your question. Please do, guys, give me or send me comments or any questions that you have on price action, and I'll be happy to cover it. Now again, I think there was a continuation flag here, and I'm not sure if people took it or not, but again, I will cover it. Yes, there was. So again, what is prior price action telling us? We've broke the high retrace, broke the low retrace, okay? Then of course we've broken the high retrace, broke the low retrace. Evidence of a range, okay? Now we've come out of that pretty nicely, okay? So we can see we've come up, we've broken the high, which would have been here, with momentum, okay? But again, what is price action telling us? If you think about it, this isn't really that impulsive. Why? Well, especially with these two candles. Now for me, that was a big warning sign, and as you can see, the way we actually formed the bomb was just a bit too fast. Now again, I know possibly some people may not have entered it after they saw this candle showing a little bit of a shift in momentum. So again, for me, there's a lot of warning signs not to enter, a lot of price action telling me, hey, number one, we've come from a range, which is okay, but again, this is not impulsive enough out of it. We're seeing a bit of weakness here, and again, we're seeing quite a strong pullback very quickly. Now again, we know the highs are here, okay, lows are here. What happens when we actually break this bomb very quickly like this, in a scenario like this? Well, again, we know that we're going to see more of a range, okay? So guys, do check this out and back test this, and this is why we look for shifting momentums. If we see shifting momentums early on, we anticipate this range, okay? So again, this is what I'm anticipating for this price action. So again, right now, Aussie US dollar is telling me, hey, we're going to be very range bound. We are between these highs and these lows. So again, what am I looking for on this pair? Well, I want to see a lot more price action away in terms of looking for possible reversal setups. We come up in an ascending, or we'll be looking at opportunities to go down south. Same to the downside, descending, opportunities to go up north again, okay? But I want a better, more kind of price action showing us more weakness in either one of these directions before I see momentum in the direction and continue, okay? So waiting for that. Now again, if we do impulse out of here, more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag, okay? Same to the upside, continuation flag. We know this pair likes to trend correctively as well. So again, if we start to actually move up, okay, break the high, pull back to this level, break the high again, pull back to this level, I will be looking to get involved in a continuation of a trend, even if it's trending correctively. But again, I gotta see evidence, I gotta see momentum. So far, personally, I've not seen any momentum, okay? This is pretty range bound to me. So again, that's what I'm looking at on Aussie US dollar. Next pair is Aussie Japanese Yen. Now, as you can see, guys, we have been on this very, very strong trend up, and there was actually a continuation. I know that someone did ask about it with me on the podcast last night here. Now, again, for me, I'm not personally interested in this kind of setup, okay? It's not high probability. Now, again, I'll quickly cover this. The reason being is because even though we knew the bias was the upside, and I'll cover this in New Zealand Japanese yen, because we've seen a push up, we've seen no shift in momentum, we've seen a push up, and again, what did price do? I've said this on the last forecast, we're more likely to come down and then continue the push up. That's exactly what we did here. Now, again, how do we know this? Well, if you think about it, a journey, well, momentum is essentially saying, hey, we do want to go in a direction, right? So let's say we're going from point A to point B, okay? And again, obviously this is going long, this is bullish, right? Now again, along the way, it's not such that, hey, we're just gonna go straight up like that. Now we may, but again, most times we see liquidity being taken from areas below, pushed up, then again, we actually start to see some more liquidity gathering here till we get a further push up. Then again, we might have another push up, again, have more liquidity gathering before we continue the push up. Again, we get price action in between. Now, how do we know that we're still on the bias up? Well, again, it all says here. Now, again, treat it like, someone actually explained this to me, like treat it like a journey. Like let's say this is London, and let's say this is Aberdeen, right? Of course, if you're going to travel from London to Aberdeen by car, it's going to take many, many hours. So of course, you're going to take pit stops. You're going to want to take a toilet break. You're going to want to have food. You're going to possibly want to sleep overnight, okay? And that's what price action in between is doing. They're taking pit stops. They're just gathering liquidity. Money managers are taking liquidity. They know where all of it sits to actually fuel the move to where they want to go. So again, in this scenario, what are we saying? How can we apply this kind of explanation to this? Well, guys, you can clearly see we're on an uptrend, all right? Now, again, what has price action told us here? We've broken up, formed a wick, formed an aggressive retrace. We broke this low, but didn't see a shift in momentum, okay? Think about it. If we want to reverse and say, hey, we no longer want to go to some arbitrary destination up here, then, hey, we're actually going to show that momentum down. We're going to have a new destination down here. Why? Because again, we've gathered liquidity. This was possibly a fake out, possibly longer term liquidity from price action prior. So again, we would push down, but again, we retraced and started to range. Again, what is this doing? This is accumulating buyers and sellers. What more importantly, buyers, people are going to be buying, saying, hey, we're on an uptrend, let's place our stops here. What happens? What are money managers going to do? They're going to take it out and continue and fuel their move up. So again, that is exactly what we saw. Now again, what happened up here? So you can see there is possible, how can I put this? Opposite liquidity. Liquidity that can be taken here just to say, hey, now we are going to change direction. And how did we come into that? Well, we came into that in a corrective manner, okay? Sometimes we can see this V. I know some people, especially with Gorilla, like to see this V, see this range and a push up in the second leg. That's absolutely fine. But again, for me, I did not look at this trade because again, we came up in this area of liquidity in a corrective manner, okay? We're not seeing that much commitment. Even the break here, the break of this high, again, retraced, not showing me momentum. That's not enough momentum for me. So again, a lot of warning signs, and as you can see, we just kind of ranged in a sense. We also had further, we had exactly what happened here, this pit stop. We have another pit stop here. How do we know that? We broke this low, retraced. Again, we might have broken this high, retrace, again with the outside bar, but the most important thing is here, broke the low, retrace, broke the low, retrace, and look, we saw that momentum up. So again, we've got another pit stop here from here. So pit stop 1, okay, pit stop 2, continuing the move up, okay? So again, for me, we want to wait for, with my strategy, we want to wait for clear, strong evidence so that we know we're going to get in. Even if we see this move here, corrective nature, not enough momentum, again, we exhibit more of this kind of range to collect liquidity and push up. Again, another reason why I would not be interested getting in. So again, what am I looking at now? So we've broken the low retrace, broken this high, again, formed a wick, starting to push up a bit, again, can just very easily retrace. So again, I want more price action. I want price action to be a lot more better than it is. If we push up, pull back, push up again, pull back, I will be looking to get involved in a setup like this. We know this pair likes to trend correctively. This is something I will be looking to get involved on the Aussie Japanese Yen, okay? Now, we may not get that. We may come in this ascending and start to see that momentum down. If we do that, more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag, okay? Or more than happy to look for a nice reversal setup where we break the low, pull back to this level and go, okay? Very nice, very high probability. We also spot that Aussie Japanese Yen has been on an uptrend for a very, very long time, okay? Very long time. So again, it would not be surprising if we do get that move, but again, waiting for evidence, okay? That's the only way we make the trades, or I make the trades, because again, we're trading off candlesticks, so we have to wait for the market to show its hand. So again, I'm waiting for a lot more price action on the Aussie Japanese yen. Next bet is the Aussie US dollar. And as you can see, guys, I did take two positions here. Now, I will cover this. One of them, this one, again, I did mention this in my previous forecast that I would be happy to enter, depending on price action, and I'll go through this. This trade, again, it did not fit my plans, so I'll also be covering this as well. So I think our bar replay, I think we were about possibly around here. So again, yesterday, in yesterday's forecast, I did say, hey, we are seeing this descending, smaller descending push up. We've clearly got momentum up. Now again, we had a little bit of a pullback. I wasn't seeing too much of a shift in momentum, and we got this range. So again, this was setting up to be a very nice combo at the inside bar, okay? Now again, what sold me this trade is the very next candle. This candle, as you can see, we will have had a bomb line or a flag line here. How did we break this? We broke with a wick. Again, this could have easily set up a bond, okay? A bullish candle for people to go long, but again, for me, I was happy to take the combo. So again, this candle sold it to me. The way we broke this bomb line was not showing me that continued momentum. Yes, we got a little bit of momentum here, but this was not continuing it for me. Okay, so again, for me, I was happy to place this. I would take this all day long. This is very high probability for me. We're seeing momentum in the market, right? We've got a little bit of a pullback, but did we see a range? Yes. So again, so going through the checklist, have I seen momentum? Yes. Have I seen any shift in momentum? No. Are we taking a longer continuation? Yes. Have we waited for the range? Yes. Have we seen any shift in momentum as we broke the low? No. Okay, enter. Happy to take this all day long, okay? But as you can see, guys, the very next candle did just show and break structure and take us out. Again, I'm happy to take that. Look, you can see we obviously broke this low and retrace. Okay, so again, for me, I was happy to take that trade. High probability you'll see something like this on quite a lot of pairs. Again, we saw the range, saw the accumulation of buyers and sellers, well, most likely buyers, and we just tapped into that liquidity area. Happy for me to take. Now, the next trade, I will admit, again, it did not fit my plan. And again, this is one for ASR. But again, the way I was seeing this is that we're seeing this momentum down, one candle retrace, momentum, one candle retrace, and then we broke with a solid candle and a solid close. Now, again, this is what actually was really on my mind. And again, I'm happy to show you guys my thought processes. This is what my mind was saying, hey, we're really sold on this trade. Whereas if we look at price action, right, we've just broken this low, retrace, broken the low, retrace, broken this low, could easily retrace, okay? So we've come out of this range in a descending manner. Typically, we're essentially in this range, right? So again, for me, this is why it did not fit my plan. But again, I did take it. Again, I'm happy for you guys to know, like, again, we are traders. Sometimes mistakes are going to happen. And as you can see, the next candles, of course, just took me out very quickly. So again, this is what happened. This is how I took these trades. Again, 2 losses. Am I phased by that? No, not really. Again, there's lessons to be learned. So for me, I'll be ASRing this trade in particular. Obviously, I'm going to be ASRing both trades, but again, I will be looking at this trade and identifying what went wrong. So again, for me, this is emotional based. I did take this based on emotions, not being balanced. So again, what can I do? Take the hit and continue on. Now again, what are we seeing in price action? So if we get rid of these 2 losses, what are we seeing in price action now? Well, we've broken the high. Oops, apologies for that, guys. We broke the low, retrace, broke the high, retrace. Giving us evidence we want to be range bound, broke the high, retraced. I think we've got a high here, broke the high, retrace possibly, broke the low. Again, have we got a retrace candle here? Yes, retraced, again, broke the low, retraced. For me, again, even when if we just look at it from a bird's eye perspective, okay, I'm not even really looking at highs and lows breaking because, again, pretty range bound. You can tell that. We can see Euro is now in a range. So for me, I'm waiting for a lot more price action and momentum to get out of this. If we continue to come down and break these major lows over here in a descending manner, take out liquidity, and we break the high with momentum, pull back to this level, I'm more than happy to look for that nice reversal setup. Or if we break high impulsively, more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag like this. Very nice, very high probability, okay? So again, I'm waiting on a lot more price action. I'm not seeing anything or why I would want to get involved in euro dollar till we actually start to move out of these kind of range bound behaviors. You can see price is stagnant, pretty stagnant, especially by the size of the candles. We could be waiting for news. So again, for me personally, I'm sitting on my hands on the euro US dollar. Next pair is euro Japanese yen. Now, as you can see, guys, this has been a bit choppy. So we've, of course, come up in this kind of ascending manner. and right, and we had a push up, not unexpected, right? And then what happened? We had an aggressive retrace, okay, giving us a range, and then a push down, okay. Then we had a very, very nice fake out here, okay. You can tell even with this where our guys going to put their moves, where our retail traders going to put their stops. Well, above here, right? Price just came, took it all out, and now it's stagnant and possibly waiting for news. Just by judging by these candles, you can see also wicks either side. So again, I want to see more price action on this pair. So again, where are we? So we can see that we've broken this high, retraced, no momentum, okay? Again, broken the high, retraced. Again, we would have a low here, broken the low, retraced. Now we've just broken the high, retraced. Again, not giving any evidence where we want to go. Now, if we come up in an ascending manner, okay? I will be looking at opportunities to go south. If we impulse down, more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag. Or if we break the low, pull back to this level, we'll be happy to look for a nice reversal setup. Okay, but again, we know, what do we know about this pair? We can get an ascending and impulse up. If we impulse up from this kind of price action, okay, more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag to continue that momentum. Or if we start to see that weakness above, I will be looking at opportunities to go back down south. So again, for me, I'm waiting on a lot more price action. To me, this is pretty much range bound. I can see volatility here. We can see we've got a V here, range, direction, second leg, V here, range, could move in direction, second leg. Double V's both sides, volatility. For me, I'm waiting for a lot more price action before I look to get involved in this market, okay? Next pair is the pound. Now again, I am looking at this setup. Guys, I do talk about this all the time on the pound. What do I say? We've said we've come from this range. I always say I like to see commitment, okay? So again, we saw this weakness at the top. How did we break the low? We had a low here, and we clearly see we broke impulsively. We are seeing commitment in the market, right? We could have taken out longer term liquidity sitting up here, so we can always have a look, see where it is. So again, you can see, guys, there would have been liquidity up here. How did we enter that? Well, we obviously came out in an ascending manner, took it out, and now the market has shown its hand where it wants to go. Now again, it doesn't mean we just have to jump in. We have to read price action. Now what has price action said? Well, price action has given me quite a big warning sign, right? We've had this impulse down. I've liked the close. We've got a very solid close, but again, we've had a little bit of an aggressive pullback, okay? Now for me, again, in this scenario, I always want to wait for a range, okay? Now again, we have got the range. So if we break this high, retrace, I'm going to get in this all day, every day. We know this pair likes this kind of price action. You impulse down, you pull up, again, have a high, we start to range within here, collect buyers and sellers, take out liquidity, and go. Okay, very high probability. You can naked chart this, it happens quite a lot. So again, I am looking for the setup. It all depends on how I'm reading price action. Currently, the bias is still down. Why? Well, even within the range, sometimes it's important to read what happens within the range. With this candle, we've taken out higher levels of liquidity, started to show a push down. We may have opposing liquidity here. Again, we haven't really seen that shift and pull up. Depends on how the candle forms. So again, if we actually just start to impulse up, I'm not interested. I'm not interested even if we retrace here, okay? I want to see a nice break, retrace, and then go, okay? So again, this is what I'm looking at more recently in this pair, so I will be having my eyes wide open on the pound. Next pair is the New Zealand Japanese Yen. And again, guys, I did say, just like on the Aussie Japanese Yen, we did anticipate this move. You can watch my recap from yesterday. I said that at the time that we were at yesterday, which was around this candle here, I said I would not be surprised if we come down lower to fuel liquidity and push up, okay? And exactly that is what happened. Now, again, how do we know this? Well, again, look at what we're seeing in the market. The market is showing us where it wants to go. Here, here. We're in a very bullish trend, okay? We didn't even see any possible strong liquidity grabs here. In fact, none at all for me. So we pushed up with momentum. Even if we broke this high, retrace, broke the high, retrace, broke the high with momentum, we actually started with this aggressive retrace. We could tell that price could just fuel up and then continue the move, okay? So again, that's exactly what we got. We got a low here. We've got another low here. Okay, where's the liquidity for this low going to sit? Well, it's going to sit right here, right? Where's the liquidity for this low going to sit in this inside bar? Right here. What happened? We took it, we fueled the move up and continued, okay? But again, for me, what am I looking for? Well, personally, even though we fueled the move up, we didn't fuel it up that much. We can see we've just broken this major high retrace. And in terms of our highs and lows, broke the high retrace, broke the high retrace. Showing weakness, okay? So again, after that, we broke this low retrace. Okay, now again, we broke the higher retrace. So giving us evidence we want to be range bound. Now, like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do just come down here again and feel the move up. Okay, because again, we're still on the uptrend. But I wouldn't also be surprised if we just weaken down here with this kind of ascending nature, collect liquidity at the top, okay, for sellers to come in, and then we start to see that commitment down. If we see that break with the low with momentum, pull back to this level, I'm more than happy to look for a nice reversal setup. Now again, guys, I am going to be trading the continuation flag with this pair. I've now back tested it and it's completely fine. So if we impulse down, more than happy to take a nice continuation flag. So for me, I've now introduced the flag with the New Zealand Japanese yen. It does work well, but again, it all depends on price action and where we have come from for this on this pair to be high probability. So again, I'm waiting for a little bit more price action on this pair. We are starting to stagnate. You can see that here, going range bound, going sideways. So again, we want to see more price action. If we break this high with momentum, pull back, break, pull back, I'm going to be looking to get involved in a continuation of the trend, and that's the same to the downside. Okay, if we start to see the momentum, I'm more than happy to get involved. And again, we know this pair likes to trend correctively, but again, I want to see more of a corrective trend to get involved in a corrective trend. But again, like I say, if I see that momentum, if I see the momentum and we see a small pullback and a break of momentum again, I will be looking to get involved depending on price action as we pull back. So again, that is what I'm looking at in the market ahead today. I hope everyone has a fantastic day ahead, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.